Prime Minister Dean Barrow has issued a recorded statement via telephone as he is still in the U.S., where he attended the signing of the Paris Agreement. According to Prime Minister Barrow, he has had a meeting with President Jimmy Morales at the UN in New York.
The following is a recorded telephone statement by the Prime Minister of Belize, the Right Honorable Dean Barrow, on the unfortunate incident that occurred in the Belize side of the adjacency zone.
The government of Belize views very seriously the statement made by the Guatemalan President Jimmy Morales concerning the incident at Sabada in the Chiquibul National Park. We are extremely concerned that the measures announced by President Morales have served to escalate tension to an utterly unacceptable degree. Accordingly, I have today met with President Morales in the margin of the UN climate change signing ceremony. I have indicated to President Morales that the position taken by him and his government cannot conduce to peace, and that there is an immediate need to de-escalate tensions. I have confirmed that, as is usual in cases of this nature, the OAS will conduct an impartial investigation, an impartial inquiry into what has happened. We will also, as we have done on a previous occasion, seek the assistance of the United States, asking them to deploy a forensic or a number of forensic experts to help with the reconstruction of the incident. I have made clear to the President that while we have nothing to hide and therefore are happy to insist on this inquiry, pending the results of that exercise, Belize maintains its position, which is that our soldiers came under attack or fired upon, and that what happened was as a consequence of their returning fire in an effort to defend themselves. While clearly the loss of the Guatemalan life is regretted, and while we are particularly anxious because it was a minor that was killed, we insist that the Belize Defense Force, based on the reports they have submitted, confirmed by the members of the Conservation, FCD, Friends for Conservation, as a civilian portion, as part of as a civilian complement, as part of the patrol. Their confirmation makes us even more insistent that, pending the results of the inquiry, the position is as we have officially. I recollected for the President that Sergeant Lambie was shot perhaps just 2 weeks ago, and I also recalled the murder of Special Constable Connor Key. While, of course, we cannot prove that Guatemalan civilians were responsible, that is certainly the thought, the feeling, the conviction, and it goes to show how dangerous the situation is in the areas patrolled by our Belize Defense Force. Bottom line is that while the President his position and I maintained mine, we agreed that there is the immediate need to de-escalate the tension. We agreed that all measures would be taken to achieve that end. We agreed that while we are awaiting the results of the inquiry, contact, dialogue must be maintained to ensure that there are no breaches of the peace that exists between Belize and Guatemala. We also spoke about the SARS stool, and again, we agreed that there is a need to work out some kind of a protocol to govern the operation of the two countries on the SARS stool. So I am satisfied that our message has been delivered. While I cannot pretend that the government of Guatemala is other than insistent that their version of events is correct, and while they continue to say that in their view the BDF murdered this minor, we reiterated that there cannot be that kind of a rush to judgment, especially in view of our conviction that the BDF was exercising its right to self-defense. In addition to the meeting that I've had with President Morales, I am meeting with the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations to apprise the UN of what has happened and of the increased in tension, and to request their good offices to call on the Guatemalans, or to in fact urge that both sides do all that is necessary to respect the confidence building measures, to act under the confidence building measures, which ultimately then means that both sides are required not to be irresponsible and in fact to be constructive and to do everything to maintain peace and to continue the dialogue. I also have an arrangement to place a call to the OAS Secretary General, who is in Ecuador visiting in view of the earthquake, the natural disaster that occurred there. But I will speak to him directly as well, so that we would have covered all bases. The bilateral dialogue with President Morales, the briefing of the United Nations, and the briefing of the Organization of American States. In addition to that, in Belize, from Belmopan, officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and from my office of the Prime Minister are in touch with the Americans, with British and others of our partners to keep them completely in the loop as we proceed, and to ask them as well to urge that the Guatemalans do what, in fact, I repeat, President Morales has promised he will do. That is, de-escalate tension, have us return to a state of normalcy, continue the dialogue and the communication while we await the findings of the inquiry, which the OAS has already started. I want to assure the Belizeans that we are confident that there is not any need for anybody to panic. Admittedly, the statement made by the President and the moves that appeared to follow that statement were alarming. But in terms of what has now happened with respect to the meeting between the President and myself and our briefing of the key international organizations, we are confident that in fact there will be this
Prime Minister Barrow says that he will be meeting with the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations to apprise him of the current tensions between the two countries.